Hey everyone, what we're going to do today is a finesse smallmouth spotted bass football jig. Um, what that is, I do have a video out with a smallmouth spotted bass football jig, which is, it's a full-size football jig, only it's got a downsized hook in it. This is a 3/8 ounce that's in the vise. The hook is a 2-aught Mustad 32-796 heavy wire flat eye style hook, and the color is the namesake of the pattern I'm going to tie today, which is the All-American craw. And the paint job is just simply brown camo craw with orange on the top. I know I'm getting glare, but that's all you got. It's just a brown with an orange, and that's normally how I tied this in the past, was just plain brown with orange, but I like that brown camo because it has the black markings. I know you can't see it very well, if at all, here, but it's got a lot of fine black dots all over. Really nice looking. I think that modeling helps. Whether the fish thinks so or not, I don't know, but I know the pattern works well. So we're going to start with some brown 210 denier flat wax nylon thread, and we'll get a base started. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add, it's going to be one full tab, but I have it cut in half to make it easier to tie in. This is a bluegill color in the Real Bait series from Lure Parts Online. That's the only place I found this. So that's, and I know it sounds stupid, All-American craw, and we're using the bluegill skirt tab, but it's got all the craw elements to it, yet they call it bluegill. Go figure. So tie in half a tab there, and the same thing on the other side. And with these, when it comes to these types of tabs that are multiple, you know, you got orange, then green pumpkin, then blue, orange, green pumpkin. You see how I cut this one in half and tied it in. Unless you're going for something different, change the modeling around. Make sure you line it up, because on the back end, if I tied it in the other way, I would start off with blue and then go to green pumpkin, then go to orange. It's not critical, but sometimes I get a little OCD, which you probably could tell by the number of jigs that I have on this channel. And I always have something different, something new. I have a multitude that I have yet to do, plus new ones that I've been working on and trying out and having other people try out for me. Always something different, always messing around with something. And that has to do more with where I'm fishing at. In the Northeast here, a lot of the lakes, a lot of the area where I fish gets a lot of pressure. So I'm always looking to throw something that the fish haven't seen, something completely new to them. Now, our bluegill color is tied in. We're going to go with a brown tab of brown. This is just plain brown black flake. This is available most anywhere, but I'll leave a link to it in the description. I'll probably link everything to Lure Parts, just so it's a one-stop shop. We're going to take our half a tab of brown here and tie us in on the top. Flip it around, and we're going to tie it in on the bottom. The length I'm not so worried about, because again, this is a finesse style skirt, so as long as I have enough hanging over the hook, it doesn't matter where the top ends up. As long as you have some on the top to cut, I should say. You can see I'm starting to pull now tension-wise after I get this on, to make sure we're nice and tight. And flared out a little bit. And this is just the reason I do it the finesse style in this style jig this time of year is I find that I get more bites with this style. I don't know. I imagine it's the smaller profile, but there's times where it could get downright tough, and this style always seems to do better. So certain times of the year, or even in the summertime, if I'm having a difficult time and I think this football jig is going to be working, but I can't get bit, oftentimes I'll try the finesse style. So now I'm going to take a half a tab of green pumpkin black or green pumpkin pepper, depending on where you buy it from. I'm going to take a half a tab. I have it cut in half, so this is 10 strands basically, 5 strands on each on the top and 5 strands on the bottom. Just a little bit to break up the browns that are in here. The brown dominates when you put a lot of it in, and because we have with that orange, even though there's no brown in that, it looks like there is in this bluegill color. I guess some kind of optical illusion with myself, that is. It always looks like there's brown in it, but it's just orange and green pumpkin and blue. It's got to be careful we don't trap any silicone. That's the hardest part with this when you're thread tying, is trapping your material. And even then, I will just wrap over it if it's only a little bit. So now the majority of this is finished, but we still got a little bit extra to do. And we're going to take red barbed wire, 2 strands on each side. And take 2 and tie it over here. And I want the strands to be separated. I apologize, I'm trying to do it on your side away from me so you could see it. It's kind of awkward because I can't see where it's at. And the same thing, we're going to take 2 strands of red barbed wire, and I'm going to put it over on my side. Separate them out a little bit. You would think 2 strands would be the easiest, but for some reason it just doesn't want to cooperate today. But now we got it. And now we're just going to form our collar and be done. I am going to clip these back though, these long ones, so don't get in the way. Don't even have to. All I got to do is throw them up over top of the vise. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Tell me I caught that. Yes, I did. There we go. First for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trim it off. Now we're not done. We're going to put excuse me, getting tongue tied. We're going to put a weed guard in here as well as a trailer. Heirloom water-based head cement. Quick drying, don't have to worry about getting any on the material. You can't beat it. Now I'm going to take all my strands up front here, and I'm going to cut right above the head. That seems to be always give me like the best size of skirting left over the top. That's kind of where I like it. Take my bottom, and always cut your bottom a little longer than what you think, because you can always take more off. If you cut it too short, you're kind of stuck. That's 56 strands, believe it or not. That's what we look like, but we're going to add our weed guard here, and I went with the small FG12 weed guard. I like it for this time of year. I'm not dealing with the grass as much, and I basically at the football head I'm usually going over top of rocks anyway, and what the weed guard does for me there is it keeps me from getting jammed up in the rocks. So there's our little FG12 weed guard. So far, so good. Now our trailer that we're going to add on here. This is from Conquistador Tackle. It's their Finesse Pro craw chunk. I got these at Tackle Warehouse. This is the green pumpkin orange color. And we're going to thread that on after I see where the hook will come out at. It's right by the bottom. Thread this on, and then we're going to check out the profile. And there it is. That is the All-American craw. And I see the trailer isn't really extending a whole lot past that skirt material, and that's a good thing. I want to keep this compact. That's why I tie this specific jig. I make it in 3/8 and a half ounce, and it uses the smaller 2-aught hook, because now I got a full-size football jig. You know, I'm fishing this in 8 to 14 feet of water, give or take. Plenty heavy enough. You got the strength of a heavy wire hook. You got all the elements of a larger jig, but you got a smaller profile. And that nice compact design, that gets bit. There you go. The All-American Craw football head jig. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.